When someone mentions Tomb Raider, I immediately think of this game. Hello everyone, welcome back to those who's watched my previous videos, and a warm welcome to all newcomers. Today we're looking at the Rise of Tomb Raider, released in November 2015 and approaching its decade of existence this year. Despite its age, the game's graphics remain stunning and its rich content, from the main campaign to collectibles and DLCs, make it my absolute favorite in the series. Let's start with the campaign. The game kicks off with Lara and Jonah at the top of the treacherous mountain, the kind of place where you know something's about to go wrong. It doesn't take long before disaster strikes. A cliff crumbles, the mountain begins to shake, and suddenly Lara is forced to pull all her survival skills to the test. It's a powerful introduction not just to the world, but to the game's mechanics. But it's not just about climbing walls or dodging falling rocks, it's about subtle reminder that Lara Croft, no matter how skilled, is always vulnerable and always thinking on quick feet. The core concept hasn't changed since 2013 Tomb Raider reboot. The opening sequence follows familiar beats. Lara swings through perilous situations, runs for her life, and inevitably ends up alone. She goes through the survival basics, building a shelter, making a fire, finding food, and establishing radio contact. Though detailed, appear only once in the game, and that's only on the start. Before I continue with the story, feel free to check out my Tomb Raider 2013 video. But let me explain the story from the beginning. Lara's quest for Lost City stems from her father's research into immortality. However, she's not alone in this pursuit. A military organization called Trinity is also hunting for the secret. This isn't Lara's first extraordinary adventure. After her experience on the island in 2013, people dismiss her accounts as lies, labeling her as just another delusional Croft. Among the skepticism was Anna, Richard's wife. Even though nobody believed Lara, she still wanted to find answers to the myth, but not for herself, rather to prove her father that she's capable of doing it. The game takes us to Syria, where our driver is shot by Trinity. Miraculously, Lara escapes as the car crashes and flips upside down. But that's just the beginning. New mechanics are introduced, like learning Greek, Russian and Mongolian. Leveling up these languages isn't just for a show. When you hit level 1, you unlock the ability to translate ancient pillars, revealing hidden treasures. Coins scattered across the map become more than just collectibles. They're key to upgrading Lara's arsenal and unlocking new gear. Later on, I will show you. We discover massive ruins that we can't resist exploring. While exciting, the ruins are treacherous, filled with skeletons, scorpions, cobwebs and deadly traps. We got our first taste of a puzzle solving here, which becomes a recurring feature throughout the game. Upon solving the puzzle, we find a tomb empty, seemingly a wasted journey. However, Trinity has also discovered the site and planted charges to destroy it. Lara, clever as ever, steals a detonator from a captain and triggers explosion herself. Thanks to her athleticism and luck, we managed to escape alive. Back at the Croft Manor, the family headquarters, Lara was researching the Prophet artifact. She became so obsessed that Jonah started laughing, not at the legends and myths she was sharing, but at what she actually believed about seeking immortal life and trying to cure death and sickness. Jonah left the room, disappointed in Lara, since she was so filled with blindness and with belief of wanting to avenge her father's name with this relic apparently stops the nature cycles that are just part of life. A few hours later, Lara was ambushed by a skilled thief who stole a book containing her discoveries. When he escaped through a window with a book, it was the last straw. They had to pursue Trinity to Siberia, where the story continues in the cold. After gathering basic survival necessities, food, shelter, warmth and weapon, Lara intercepted a Trinity guard's radio, giving us the advantage of knowing their plans and next moves. Apparently, a bear has been causing problems in the area. Being brave as she is, confronted the bear, which injured us slightly. We found resources necessary for healing, and while heading to the cave, we discovered mushrooms to craft poison arrows at our base. However, before we could take revenge on the bear, Lara heard gunshots from Trinity guards who were pursuing two people. Unfortunately, one of them sacrificed their life while the girl managed to escape. This was when Lara showed us what she was truly capable of, essentially becoming an assassin by leaping from trees onto guards and eliminating others during our journey to hunt the bear. We finally killed the beast with our poison arrows, unlocked some weapon components and discovered a new path forward. Getting on the surface wasn't really a relief, since the girl that escaped from Trinity tried to interrogate us, but at least we ended up in Gulag prison, but he had nothing there except killing more guards just to end into a new area where I killed few guards to unlock the store and bought the rope ascender since it was cheap and it's actually helpful. Sliding down, we dropped next to some church where the Trinity leader was talking on a walkie-talkie, but we got caught by a guard from our back. Lara still hasn't developed her senses, so we got caught and interrogated, or at least tried to, since Anna was acting like she was captured by them and it was Lara's mistake. But she was actually working with them, and the leader was her brother. Disappointed in so-called family, Lara said that she was a cunt and got bitch slapped into a prison where we met our cellmate that looks like Jesus Christ himself. Now I haven't been in many jails, but last time I checked, not a single prison had pipes in their cells. After all, it's a deadly weapon. But I guess this one is a Tomb Raider prison, so Lara took a pipe, made hole in the wall, and as she was crossing the wall, she found a rope and a bow. I honestly can't complain, but thank you game for being unrealistic and actually giving me decent skill. And that's using a rope and an arrow to pull things. Now as we were escaping, Jesus was asking if we could help him, but since Lara got stabbed in the back literally a minute ago, she at first said no. But then Jesus knew that she was after the artifact, so she left him free. After some parkour, we found out where Trinity is going to hit next. We hid in the sewers and did a puzzle with electricity and shot some guards to escape. I didn't know Jesus had some sick moves and kill a guard unarmed. I also got chased down by a helicopter, swam back to the surface just to drown again, and saw in our dream Lara's father dead, making it look like it was a suicide just to wake up next to Jesus. This is the part where they befriended each other, but we had a mission to get the artifact while he wanted to just help the people that he lead. But we met again on the bridge to show us a hidden tunnel where it blew to shit, but at least we acquired a combat knife and did a puzzle where we broke a huge ass door. Inside the chamber, Lara learned more about the prophet and his history, but once again after we climbed back on the surface we got jumped by a ginger woman, although this time there was a Jesus and he apparently led these people and the ginger girl was his daughter. The whole village is preparing for a war, and to signal the upcoming attack, Lara had to get a new add-on for a bow, and that's fire arrows, so that she can light the tower on fire, and we gave the whole village a signal. The game moved very rapidly. Some warriors got captured by Trinity and we unlocked a new weapon. The shotgun is honestly one of the best weapons ever, since we can easily kill people at close range as well as break the armor of enemies pretty fast, which is going to be necessary at the end of the game, as well as unlocking a grenade arrow since we had to save Jesus' daughter and others by blowing the big metal doors. The aftermath of the war had a huge impact on the village. Some of them died and some of them were wounded, but Trinity is still out there, as well as the artifact. After the cutscene of talking to Jacob, we unlocked the wire spool. Now we can finally use an axe to swing to places and walls, making climbing easier and accessing the places we couldn't before. Therefore, we also found the location of where Anna is located, since they are making a hole to find an artifact that gives you location of divining source. While interrogating her and taking hostage, things too intend to go wrong. They both drop down the hole and Anna still survives since she had the upper ground, but Lara was yet a step closer to discover an artifact which we did underground. However, we had to defend our ground, or at least we tried, because we were underwater again, fire around us, and couldn't hold up a breath for too long. But that's where luck comes in, and somebody killed a pyromaniac that gave us a rebreather, which means we can breathe unlimited with this new equipment. After getting the equipment throughout this game, we had a puzzle to solve that wasn't too hard. Line up the barrels with the wood and just shoot it down. Sounds easy enough, right? Well, yeah, if not being shot by 100 people from behind, but it's nothing that Lara hasn't done before, so we got to the surface and reunited with Jonah somehow. Now Lara did a big brain move and found a hidden entrance to the city, but before we cheered for this success, Trinity attacked us and took Jonah hostage. Before we could have saved this guy that came here not even 5 minutes ago and was being kidnapped, we unlocked something new that has never been in Tomb Raider before, and that's climbing arrows that we can shoot on the wooden walls and rocks and climb on them. After killing tons of guards and making an epic parkour climb down to the Gulag again, we finally noticed Jonah and the leader in the same room. However, Jonah is a dumbass. He got the advantage, it took the captain's gun while Lara distracted him, but just didn't want to shoot him because apparently he was unarmed. Honestly, I have never seen or met a person that was in the army or in special service that didn't have another weapon like a knife or something. So to refresh his memory, the captain pulled a knife and just shanked Jonah like we were in London. He was dying, but at least he learned a lesson. Now Lara was pissed and after the captain, so while running to his ass, we had an epic underwater balls to the wall killing guards moment, and this was my favorite part of the game, since the moment I felt Lara's anger and willingness to kill anyone who stands in her way. Jonah wasn't feeling that good, and being a crybaby as he is, they were talking to each other. But then inside the room came Jesus and healed Jonah's wound. From that moment on, Lara knew that he was a prophet and showed the hidden entrance that was actually next to them. Before entering the hidden city, we had to do a solar system puzzle, and voila, we were there. Well, sort of, because as we were climbing across, we saw some guards guarding the hidden city, armed to the teeth. Lara got captured and slipped off the guard's arm, armed, had to kill few more just to try and get across. But they shut down the gate and we had to kill these guys behind the catapult to open the doors by using one of them. Not once but a couple of more times, which is a bit repetitive, but at least we unlocked armor piercing arrows. Now I honestly don't know if I ever used them, since at this point I liked my guns better because of all the upgrades, but that doesn't stop us from climbing at the top of the building once more. And although this time we had a mini boss that leads to a boss fight, first we had to take a chopper down via fireball and killing the captain of Trinity by sneaking up behind him. But there were two choices, either left him wounded or finish him. I chose to finish him since he caused me a lot of pain and headaches. In the final cutscene, Anna decided to suck in the artifact, but she wasn't strong enough, and Lara took the artifact and destroyed it, leading to death of all the Undercity soldiers and Jacob, aka Jesus. So yeah, Lara actually was one of them who killed them, sacrificing Jacob's life but also lives of the other soldiers, send a clear note that even if at the start she wanted the world to know about this immortality, it isn't worth it in the end. Curing death and sickness isn't the answer since it's a normal part of life. I wonder what her KD is now. But before the end we also had another scene where Anna and Lara were talking and somebody sniped Anna. Also she admitted that Trinity killed Richard. He also had a shot to take Lara out, but mysterious voice behind the radio said no to it. Maybe we will find out in the next game, but that's another video on itself. Moving on to the collectibles. The game is filled with collectibles, from documents, maps, coin caches, survival caches, you name it. But also, why is the game called like this? Well, there are 9 optional tombs hidden around the whole game, and every one of them upon a completion of the puzzle gives you a reward like faster healing, climbing, etc. There are also lots of side missions that can give you outfits and even some tools like lockpicks. Baba Yaga DLC. While completing the base game, if you have the Baba Yaga DLC, it probably popped up before. And the DLC starts in the mill where we found a wounded girl pilot inside the box, hidden from the Trinity guards that Lara took out. The first task she gave us was to find her grandpa, and after we headed towards the right location, Lara was poisoned by Baba Yaga, hallucinating about her past in the middle of the forest. The witch uses a walking house as transportation system and has wolf to attack us. Lara jumped in a river and her hallucinations after were gone, to a distillery where poison is being made. Back at the surface we made an antidote to the poison, one for us and one for Grandpa. Lara went back to the location where we were poisoned and we did an elevator puzzle. And the walking house was just a house on the elevator, which led us to Nadia's grandpa. Apparently the witch was his wife, so we had to save her by beating her in a boss fight, which wasn't that hard, just move her towards the gas and explode it. But at least the family came back together and gave us the reward of Baba Yaga's suit and a bow, that we can use her own type of poison, which I definitely recommend getting since it's one of the best bows out there. Blood Ties DLC is a bit different than the Tomb Raider we are used to. The story is set in Croft Manor, and Lara is reading the letter she got from a final notice. If she doesn't provide proof of her mom passing by the house to her, the house and possessions are being owned by a person named Atlas de Monrey. Our first objective was to find a way to open the safe, but we needed to find a code. By scouting around we found a flashlight that we can use to get to the basement. Throughout the basement we found a path to a library, and there was a hieroglyphs worksheet. Each number had a different symbol. Going through documents and boxes we found old lighter that we can use to set fireplace on fire and find a hidden message on the paper. On the map it was revealed that the location of master key that unlocks every door in the manor. Opening the doors of the room that we couldn't access before was one of the best things I ever seen. The tree inside the house, making everything be in pieces, from glasses to furniture, just looked so scary and prepared me for an action. But unfortunately there weren't any, except looking for more clues and hidden messages and puzzles. The thing that I love most about the DLC is not just the puzzles that this game gives, but the backstory and collectibles that these relics have. Like going inside the room where her mom used to paint. In their bedroom there was a picture, and on the picture was their date of anniversary. The only catch was there was a month and not a day. But finding more clues and we can get the code cracked. When I opened the safe I felt like it was a DLC ending, but that wasn't the case, it was just halfway. We needed to be by the fire to reveal the next secret, which was in the basement, and by using the hieroglyph sheet we cracked the code that led us deeper in the basement. It turned out her father wasn't just a mad fanatic about myths and history, but also a mad genius himself. Having a lab that nobody knew about was something I wasn't expecting for Richard. Inside the lab we found a crowbar and a paper that led us back to the center of the manor, and Lara had had to destroy the wall to get across to get back to the center of the manor. On the floor there was a compass that was showing us the hidden entrance to where her mother was actually buried inside a tomb and had a statue on her own. Talking about psychopaths here, but oh well, when you have money I guess you can do whatever you want. After a couple of weeks, Lara received a letter saying that she can keep the manor and its possessions. Hopefully one day we can see this manor being rebuilt and maybe take an actual story in the campaign. Playing the Lost Plot was fantastic, but there is still one more thing to cover, and that's Lara's nightmare, which is essentially just like Call of Duty Zombies. You kill zombies for points and boss, and the end result is that your agenda is just to get as many points as possible. It's not that hard on medium difficulty. I had a mouse that double clicks and I passed it first try. There is also expeditions where you just go around the maps and fast as possible and kill enemies for points. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, comment down below what do you think about this game and if you have ever played it. As well as if you want to drop a follow on Twitch where we stream a lot of different games and just want to see this game turning a decade old feels so different since this game will always be close to my heart. Anyways, hope you're having a fantastic day, stay safe and peace.